Braintree High School for today's coverage of varsity baseball as your Braintree Womps take on the Brookline Warriors. Mike Wassel here for BCAM TV, and Braintree comes in today's action a perfect 7-0 on the season, facing a 5-2 team from Brookline, a team that so far is undefeated in the Bay State Conference, and Braintree's going to have a tough test here at their hands. The Womps coming off 2 consecutive victories this week, picking up victories on the road, once at Wellesley and the other at Dedham. So the Womps coming in with a home game here to end out the week, trying to close it off a perfect 3-0 and improve to 8-0. It'll be Andrews on the mound for Braintree, and we'll have the top of the first right after this. First pitch of the game coming on the way from Andrews, and it's there at the knees for strike one to begin the ball game. As Duchesne takes a pitch down at the knees. Andrews trying to improve to a 3-0 record here on the season as he fires another fastball in there. Same spot, strike two. Andrews trying to stay ahead of the hitters, which he's done here to begin the game on a very windy late evening here at Braintree High School, as the first pitch is up for a ball from Andrews, the first ball he's thrown. Braintree offense has really come around after a slow start in the first couple games of the season, but they've really come around at the right time as that one hangs a little bit up. Wind will certainly play a factor here in this one, as Denny's already lost his hat twice so far here at short to begin the game. He's going to have to tighten that up. Certainly doesn't make it ideal for conditions. Makes it tough for the fielders, that's for sure. Anything in the air is going to be a very tough play. As the 2-2 fastball is swung on and missed, he struck him out. So good start for Andrews down on the mounds. As we have the defense for Braintree here after the opening out. Quigley as usual at third, Dennehy at short, Carnes at second, and Vanelli at first. And in the outfield, no changes there from left to right. O'Brien in left, Duffy in center, and out in right field is going to be Flannery here today, with Kennedy doing the catching for Andrews. Off-speed pitch, it drops in for a strike. Good pitch. So far, a good mix of fastballs and off-speed pitches from Andrews. Looking for the second out. And the pitch right there in the corner, he struck out the opening 2 batters here of the game. So just the start Braintree was looking for. As again, the wind continuing to howl around here at Braintree High School. And there is a pitch on the corner for a strike as Andrews continues to fire in pitch after pitch in the strike zone. The 0-1 pitch, and that one lasered to second, and Carnes not able to field it cleanly, and that'll be an error on the Braintree second baseman to allow a runner on here in the first. That should have ended the inning. Instead, that allows it to continue and brings up the cleanup hitter now. Both Carney and Carnes have kind of been alternating time at second base, as now Braintree shifting their infield more towards the second base side, hoping, or at least thinking about a potential steal, as that one drops in for a strike. Andrews continuing to have success with his off-speed pitch here in the first. So Shimbori with a chance here with 2 down and a runner at first, as he spins another off-speed pitch in there, but this one misses inside. So Vanelli holding on the runner at first base with 2 down. Here in the top of the first, still no score. The only runner reaching on an error at second base here with 2 down. Andrews wind and pitches a strike, as again you see this time Andrews losing his cap. So the wind already having some relevance here in the game, at least to begin it. Certainly changes the whole mindset out there with the wind really howling around. Distracts not only players on the field, but anybody out in the stands as the runner goes on the pitch, and he struck him out as that one was held by Kennedy as Andrews strikes out the side here in the first to end the inning. So after a half inning of play, no score. Braintree coming up. Bottom of the first inning as Braintree comes up to bat in a tie game, and the first pitch to Kennedy is upstairs. So Reed on the mound here today for Brookline, as Braintree able to get a clean inning in the first with 3 strikeouts from Andrews, as the first pitch or first strike of the game thrown in there on the second pitch of the game from Reed. And Kennedy down the count now, 1-2. Generally, Kennedy likes to swing early in the count, but here he's been patient. Haven't seen anything factor in yet with the wind, but hoping it dies down at some point here, as that one's down in the dirt, and a good leave by Kennedy. Biggest moment of Kennedy's career last season, the game-winning Super 8 hit to seal off the championship for the Womps, as that one spins him off the plate, and it's 3-2. At the time, just a sophomore. Now in his junior season, he has had a very good last couple weeks hitting with the bat. And once the temperatures really start to rise here as the season moves on, you only expect better numbers for this whole Braintree offense that has the power to knock it out of the yard. Actually had 2 homers in the win over Wellesley, as this one is grounded over towards the right side of the infield and through for the base hit. So Kennedy aboard here to begin things in the bottom half of the first, as that one split right through the first and second baseman. So the long at bat saw 6 pitches, and it ended with a single. We'll see how aggressive Braintree is with the bats. They've been very consistent at sacrifices as Andrews steps in. He sends down the late sacrifice, and that'll be a good bunt. Long play, the throw is just there in time as Andrews gets the runner over to second base, and that was a quick decision from Andrews. Thought it may have had a chance to sacrifice, which he did, and he didn't show it early, which obviously allowed the base runner a chance, and the catcher had to make a tough throw as Vanelli comes up with the runner at second base, and the Womps trying to get the opening run here on the board. So Vanelli standing in. The left-handed hitter takes a pitch upstairs, and it's 1-0. Kennedy standing at second base with 1 down here in the bottom half of the first, after Andrews moved him over on Kennedy's single. And the pitch to Vanelli stays up. It's 2-0. Vanelli now with a good hitter's count. Good pitch to drive. If he gets a good pitch in the middle of the zone, let it rip. Stepping off on the mound. Coach O'Connell relaying the signals over to Kennedy at second, as the shortstop tries to keep him close, but Kennedy with a decent lead, trying to score on a base hit. 2-0, and that one is outside. It's 3-0. Braintree a chance now to put 2 aboard. Flannery is waiting for a chance on deck, and the 3-2 skips in there. It's ball 4. So not giving in on the 3-0 count and sending the off-speed pitch in the dirt. Vanelli was taking all the way anyway, and that was not enticing. So the wind has subsided a little bit here in the bottom half of the inning. 2 on, 1 down. Flannery looking for a base hit, but Braintree on top. This one hit towards second, could be 2. It's bobbled momentarily. Flip over to second. We'll get 1, but that should have been a double play ball. That could have ended the inning. So we've seen both second basemen make a misplay here in the first, and that could prove costly, as Braintree could potentially turn this into a run. Ends up going as a fielder's choice, but that should have been a double play ball. Chance for Quigley with 2 down, and runners at the corners. We'll see if Flannery's on the move with 2 outs, trying to get 2 in scoring position. Kennedy, who stands at third, led things off here in the first with the single. Moved over with a sacrifice bunt. As that one catches the outside corner for a strike. So Braintree trying to cash in with an early chance. And they've been able to stake themselves out to leads generally most of this season. Just a couple times this season they weren't able to do that. As the runner is off, and that one down in the dirt, and an easy stolen base. Oh no, he went back. I saw Flannery on the move out of the corner of my eye, and he retraced the steps. That would have been an easy stolen base had he taken off. Thought Flannery was off from the corner of my eye, and turn over, and there he is standing at first. Certainly a good pitch to go on, as Quigley swings out a pitch outside for a strike. So chance here for Quigley with 2 strikes on him. And now here is Flannery looking to get caught in the rundown. He'll take the bag freely. In that situation, you never know if the pitcher had thrown it over. He could A, thrown it away, or B, had a chance for Kennedy to try and sneak in the back door. So now Braintree with 2 in scoring position and 2 down. And Quigley taps this one over. That is going to be a foul ball. Quigley walking gingerly back to the plate, and he said out loud that one hit him, which I had an idea it may have, but it didn't really show any signs of off the bat. But obviously catching the left foot on the way out, almost caught a break there, because Quigley probably would have been safe at first base had it stayed in fair territory. 2 on, 2 down here in the bottom half of the first, as Quigley continues to try and put on an impressive at bat, trying to put Braintree on top. The off-speed pitch just inside, as that one nearly left. 2 on for Braintree. 5th batter here of the inning, as Braintree tries to cash in. And that one misses away, and Quigley now has a full count. Already seen 1 walk here in the inning, as Quigley has done a good job battling. And the payoff pitch, he got him. Swing and a miss. As Braintree leaves 2 on here in the first. No score after 1. Top half of the second, and the first pitch is fouled off of the batter, as that one heads back to the mounds, and a foul ball. Andrews struck out the side in the first. Back out here for a second inning of work. Braintree had a good opportunity in the bottom half of the first to get on top, and stranded 2 runners to end the inning, as Quigley struck out with 2 aboard. Down low. 1-1 the count here to the catcher starter. 1-1 pitch, as that one misses away. Commander's trying to continue his success here in the early part of the season. So far, 2-0 on the mound. As that one is there at the knees, and to call the ball. It was a good pitch from Andrews, apparently a little low. 3-1 pitch, and that one grounded to third. Quigley on a tough hop, still got time, and throws it across in time for the opening out here of the second. So Quigley off the hut shot, able to knock it down for the moment, stay with the play, and send it across in plenty of time. Brings up the left fielder, Montgomery, standing in for the first time here in the game. As Brookline looks for the first hit of the game. They had a base runner back in the first that reached on an error as the off-speed pitch is swung on and missed. So Andrews generally, when he's not pitching, plays short, but obviously on the mound here in this one, as that one is cut on and missed. He's ahead 0-2. Braintree starting to get healthy as they now have Files back in the lineup. He's not ready to play the field yet, as that's a close pitch to take. Call the ball. 1-2 the count. As the off-speed pitch stays inside. Two, and he didn't chase on another off-speed pitch. That one outside, trying to get him to chase. Second straight batter now that Andrews has had 3 balls on. And that one's there at the knees. He got him. 4th strikeout of the game for Andrews, his first of the inning. And he's got 2 quick outs here in the second. Two up, 2 down. As Andrews making quick work of these Warrior hitters. First pitch is in there a little bit low, 4-1. First baseman Roach, batting left-handed, as the pitch is on the outer half for a strike. Andrews right back onto the rubber, getting his work in there very quickly as we play here in the second. 1-1 pitch, and that one popped up. That's going to reach foul territory. Andrews with 4 strikeouts here so far in the game, looking for his 5th, as he's ahead 1-2. Right back onto the mound, sets and delivers, as that one is low. Womps looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of the game, as that one skips in, and again the count is full. Second full count of the inning. And he swung on and missed. Strike 3, as Andrews has 5 Ks through 2. Still no score here at Braintree High School. Bottom of the second inning, and O'Brien leading things off. He's been very hot with the bat, and he sends a hot shot on the first pitch for out number 1. So O'Brien, who has really shown good flashes of offense here in the early part of the season, including a homer in his last game against Wellesley, is retired on a loud out to begin the inning, as that one was hit right on the screws. So here comes Files. Fresh off of the DL. I don't think that pitch counted. I think timeout was called before it. Right back onto the rubber, and the pitch from Reed is there for a strike. So both pitchers have been very quick with their deliveries, as that one fouled back and out of play, and now Files down in the hole 0-2. So we'll see if the Braintree hitters try and step out a few times, trying to slow down the rhythm here on the mound. 0-2 pitch on the way, off-speed pitch, and it's just a little bit low. It looked like a pretty good pitch, but it was caught a little bit awkwardly behind the plate. Didn't really give a good frame of the strike zone. Braintree trying to get on their first runner here of the second. They had 2 aboard in the first, didn't score, and now trying to get something going here with 1 out. Down low, it's 2-2. So Files, who was so important last season for this Braintree team, playing in right field, very good power, and he took a swing and a miss, as there is the strikeout at the second of the game. here for Reed on the mound. So it's been a pretty good pitcher's battle with 7 strikeouts combined, 5 for Anders and 2 now so far for Reed. First pitch is inside, as Duffy gets a chance with 2 outs here in the second, batting in the 8th spot in the Braintree order. The center fielder takes a pitch outside for ball 2. That one right down the middle for a strike. As now he's seen a strike. And the pitch on the way, grounded right back to the mound. And that'll end the second as Braintree goes in order. Still scoreless here at Braintree High School, heading to the third. Top of the third inning here at Braintree High School, still no score. 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the order as this one scolded up the middle. And what a play by Carnes. Carnes for his feet, the throw across won't hit him at first. What a nice play by Carnes, ranging over. That looked like a sure single up the middle. And Carnes nearly made a unbelievable play. If the throw was on the money, that would have had him. So now a pinch runner will come on. So Mello coming off after the single as they try and get some speed on the bases. So that'll be the first hit of the game for Brookline to lead things off here in the third. Down to the bottom of the order now for Thomas, the right fielder. Braintree already sacrificing back in the first, and a similar situation here, and that one is caught, foul tipped, and he is going to be not out. That was a little bit low for Kennedy. Has to go up over the shoulder, and didn't. And Coach O'Connell just making sure. Also checking in with his catcher as Kennedy looked like it may have hit him off the hand. So both teams trying to get the first run. We've seen it once so far with Braintree with the sacrifice. Now Brookline trying to do it as well. So the number 9 man in the order asked to put down a bunt. The first one going foul. The runner leading at first. And again the square. This one to the third base side. And that is going to be a fair ball. So a bunt single as that one got by Quigley at third base. Getting the benefit of a very, very kind roll. So things have certainly changed here in the inning now as the first 2 have reached, giving a chance for Brookline to strike first. Back to the top of the order now for Duchesne, who led off the game with a strikeout. Vanelli is in at the grass at first, and the off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. No sign of a square here, at least on the first pitch. So we've seen an infield single and a bunt single here in the inning. Nothing hit all that hard. Another off-speed pitch, and it's strike 2. So Anders could really use a strikeout, trying to keep those runners put. He's got 5 so far here in the game, looking for the first out here in the third. And the 0-2 is upstairs for ball 1. So apparently swinging away here with 2 on and nobody down, looking for the big inning. Braintree hoping for a double play ball or a strikeout. 1-2 on the way. It's an off-speed pitch and it froze him, but it stayed inside. As again the wind picks up. 2-2, and he blew it right by him. Strike 3. Second time he's got him here in the game, and that came at a good time for Andrews. Now potentially a pitch away from getting out of it if he gets a double play ball. First pitch is upstairs for ball one. Thomas, who also struck out back in the first, getting his second look now at Andrews on the mound. He's ahead in the count 1-0 with the runners leading at first and second. The first out just came a moment ago on the strikeout. 6-0 for Andrews. As that one hit out to right field, that on the move and foul, as Flannery had a long run for it. So Andrews has been a strikeout machine here in the game, but he's in the biggest jam of the game so far here with 2 on and just the 1 out. Trying to pitch out of it. Pitch is low. So Andrews behind in the count. And as the sign is relayed down from the head coach, down to the runners on the bases as well as the hitter. Good size lead at second. As Andrews delivers the pitch right there for strike 2. Chance now for Andrews again to pick up another strikeout. He's got 6 so far here in the game. This would be his second, if he picks it up here, of the inning. And the 2-2 is hit out towards right field. Flannery with a long move, and not going to be able to get there in time. Everything has gone out in that direction here in the at-bat, as you can tell. Right now, they're not getting some good swings on Andrews, who's continued to pitch to the outer half, and obviously late on that swing, fouling it off. Even though you'd like to see the out by Flannery, obviously that would have advanced at least the runner from second to third, but you would like to see the out as well. But now Andrews a chance for another strikeout, as again the 2-2 pitch. And it's hit this time towards right. Flannery a much easier play this time, and he's picked up the second out. And now guns it in on a line to Dennehy. Flannery with a long at-bat there in right field, knowing that he had to make 2 long runs from the outfield spot that he wasn't able to catch up to. That one was in his tracks. He was able to make a play on, and now Andrews just 1 out away from getting out of the 2 on and nobody out jam. This would be an excellent piece of pitching from Andrews if he can get out of this unscathed. First pitch there at the knees for a strike. Braintree had 2 on back in the first, didn't score. Trying to do a similar thing on the opposite side of the field, trying to strand 2 runners for Brookline. Very quickly, it's 0-2. Andrews 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. The 0-2, and it's hit out towards right field. Long run for Flannery. Back, and that's going to get over his head. 1 run will score, and here comes a second. Looking for 3 bases, and their throw will be there, and it won't be in time. And the 2-out, 2-run triple puts the first 2 runs on the game. So that one hung up there in the wind, and that one got the first 2 runs on the board. Tough one for Andrews to swallow. He's ahead in the count. Made a good pitch, and that one stayed up in the air a long time. So he was just a pitch away from getting out of it, but wasn't able to do so on the long fly that got past Flannery. It was a long run for both Flannery and Duffy, and neither player able to make a play on it. So the first 2 runs of the game coming in here with 2 down in the third, as that one's fired in there and outside. Another runner in scoring position with 2 down, as that one's fouled off at the plate. Andrews back onto the rubber and delivers a breaking ball. Good stop behind the plate by Kennedy, keeping this one a 2-0 game. Pass ball there would have potentially allowed the runner to score from third. So important behind the plate, as Kennedy has fielded his position very well this season. And that one is inside for the first walk of the game, surrendered by Andrews. So now 2 back on base. Here still with just 2 outs. As Braintree trying to get out of it with just the 2 runs on the board. Looked like the Womps were going to get things going early in the first. They had 2 on and couldn't strike for a run. And now Brookline has capitalized on their first opportunity of the game. Pitch down low for a ball. We'll see if the runner is sent with 2 down. We'll see if Kennedy has the green light to fire through. Right now, nobody covering the bag, at least in the position to, as the runner takes off, and there will be no throw down. It will go right back to the mound. You'll clearly see what was going to take place there, as Braintree has fallen behind here in the 3rd inning. And they'll have to play from behind. That one's sharply hit and through for a base hit. That'll bring home 1. They'll try and score a second. The throw is cut off, and a 4-0 game. All this happening with 2 down here in the inning after Andrews got 2 consecutive outs, and it looked like he was going to get out of the inning. Instead, a couple of big hits, and now 4 runs on the board. Braintree's going to have to come back from a 4-run deficit at least here tonight. They've come back from a few deficits this season, but this is certainly the largest. Nelly holding on the runner at first base as that one skips in and is able to be caught on the hop by Kennedy. So thinking back to that stolen base that occurred here just a couple pitches ago prior to that single, ended up costing Braintree a run. Single scored 2 instead of just a 1 run. As that one grounded towards first, and an easy play for Vanelli to end the inning, but Brookline scores 4 runs here in the inning and take a commanding 4-0 lead after 2.5. Bottom of the order now for Braintree, 9-1-2, as Carnes from the first pitch, a very good bunt. The barehanded play, the throw, and he's got him on a very close play. Bang, bang, as Carnes is retired on an unbelievable barehanded play. That was a perfect bunt and a perfect throw. Couldn't have been done better on either side. Certainly would have been a great way to start the inning had Carnes got on, and he's a very speedy runner, so that had to take a perfect play, and it did. That's exactly what Brookline was able to put on display on the first out here of the inning. First pitch to Kennedy, who hops it over, and a tough hop. Oh, what a play. As the defense on display in the 3rd for Brookline with 2 nice plays here to begin the inning as Kennedy retired for the first time. Braintree on 2 consecutive pitches, retired twice. It's going to take something now from Andrews, the pitcher right now for the Womps, as he takes a pitch down the middle for strike 1. Womps have been no stranger of comebacks here in the season. Part of the reason why they are 7-0. But they're going to try and want to claw away at it. They're not expecting to score, obviously, 4 runs an inning, but get 1 or 2 runs and get back into it. Going to take something with 2 down here from Andrews, and that one hit out towards short. And another nice defensive play right before it hit the dirt to end the inning. So Braintree goes in order here in the 3rd, and they trail 4-0 after 3. Top of the 4th inning, and back out there is Andrews. Allowed 4 runs last inning, and those are the only 4 runs we have here in the game. Was able to get 2 quick outs after 2 came on. and was just a pitch away from getting out of it, but then Brookline ended up getting 2 quality hits in the inning as this one is hit back towards short, and Dennehy on the throw is in time for the first out here of the inning. So Andrews trying to put up a 0 here on the board and get those bats back out there, but since that first inning, Braintree hasn't had much the last 2. So the Wumps trying to find a way to get momentum back on their side after they had a chance early and weren't able to capitalize. First pitch in there to Mello, who got the rally going last inning on a single to begin the inning. A 1 just off the plate, evening the count at 1 apiece. Defense back all the way around, as that one is a late swing and a miss. Nobody on and 1 down. Andrews ahead in the count, and the 1-2 is fouled off. Able to reach out and spray that one off the backstop. 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings for Andrews. Struck out the side back in the first, had a pair in the second. As he leaves that one, he didn't come out of his hand cleanly, as that one didn't spin out. 2-2 the count. Here's the number 8 hitter in the lineup, the DH, as Mello steps back into the box, and he struck him out. Foul tip held on to by Kennedy behind the plate, and strikeout number 7 for Andrews. 2 down here in the 4th. So this would be certainly a good move in the right direction if Braintree's able to retire the side in order. Try and get those bats going. Braintree will have the heart of their order coming up in the bottom half of the inning as this one's popped up and out of play. A 1, and that one cued off to second base. Carnes down, and the throw across in time to end the inning. So Braintree able to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 here in the 4th, and we'll see if now the bats can wake up and get some runs on the board for Andrews. Bottom of the 4th, and the first pitch to Vanelli is in there for a strike. So Braintree with their middle of their order up, 3, 4, and 5. Trying to get something going here off of Reed, who has been superb since the first, allowing 2 on in that inning. One and 1 the count. Vanelli, who walked his first time through, and grounds this one back weakly towards first base. The pitcher's going to have to cover, and the play is made at first. So 9 in a row now retired after Braintree had 2 on back in the first. As the sun makes its way out here and makes it very tough to see, actually. Let's see if that's a sign of good things to come for Braintree here in the inning. It really came out of nowhere. But it was expected to be a nice day here today. Pitch to Flannery as that one's down low for a ball. The wind's still here and a factor, but the biggest hit of the game certainly factored by the wind as it hung up in the air a while, as Flannery hammers it down the first base line, and again a fine play made at first as the defense continues to be the strong suit here in the game for the Warriors, taking away a few hits in the game. That was the right idea, trying to go the other way, but he's hugging the line at first. So Braintree hasn't had a base runner since the first, as Quigley swings at a pitch down in the dirt for strike 1. Braintree had a promising part of their order up here to begin the inning, and so far the first 2 have been retired. Outside, and it's 1-1. Quigley struck out back in the first inning with 2 on to end that jam. Braintree wasn't able to push anybody across as the off-speed pitch bends in there for strike 2. 1-2 the count. Braintree trying to break up what could be a potential 1-2-3 inning. Right back to the mound, and the pitch is away. So the Womps need a runner any way they can get it. Andrews has actually pitched very well on the mound, but he does trail by 4 runs. That one hit well out to right field. On the move, it's back, and it's going to one-hop the fence as Quigley digging for 2, and he might think about a third base, and he'll stand at second with a 2-out double. That was pretty much the identical spot that Brookline hit one that pushed across 2 back in the 3rd inning. And now a chance for O'Brien as Braintree trying to get something going here with 2. O'Brien certainly has some good pop, and we'll see if he can get something going with 2 down. First pitch, and he hammers it out to center field. That one's deep. Back by the wall. It's gone! Second home run in as many games for O'Brien, and on the first pitch he hammers it over the center field wall, and Braintree has cut into the deficit. They're back within 2. Just talking about the power from O'Brien, and he did not disappoint on the first pitch as Braintree has struck for 2 with 2 down, and a brand new ball game. So finally something positive for Braintree to go with on their offense. They did claw for 2 so far, and that's exactly the approach you have to take. You're not expecting 4 runs or 5 in an inning. Obviously Brookline did push across 4 in an inning, but that is not certainly something that you can hang your hat on. 1 or 2 runs here and there, and right back in it are the Womps. So a meeting at the mound after 2 loud hits, 1 resulting in a homer. So O'Brien, who came into the season and really didn't have specifically a designated spot, but he's filled in perfectly in that role, and obviously moving forward has pretty much signified his spot out there. He's definitely solidified his spot in left field for this team, if not a DH. But O'Brien really has been a huge force moving forward. He had a huge hit against BC High back in the 7th inning of that comeback, and now 2 homers in consecutive games. Pitch to Files as that one bounces in. And now life in the Braintree dugout. All it takes really in the sport of baseball is 1 or 2 solid hits, and you can get right back in the game, which we saw on display. As the pitch clips the corner for a strike. Pitch to Files as that breaking ball stays inside. We've seen a couple close calls going both ways that haven't resulted in a strikeout. As now Files still at the plate and grounds this one weakly towards 3rd. That's going to be a foul ball. So again, Files has missed the opening, I believe, 5 games of the season due to an injury, and still trying to get back into the swing of things. He wasn't allowed really to do much with that injury, so for him it's kind of a couple steps back. As that one is away, and it's ball 4, as there goes Files down to first base with all this coming with 2 down. A loud double from Quigley. The 2-run homer absolutely smoked to center field by O'Brien, and now a walk as Braintree trying to push across another here with 2 down. And now a pinch runner coming on as Donahue will run for Files at first base. Again, still trying to get over that injury that has plagued him to begin the season. Obviously not 100% healthy, but he's trying to do his best. But once he gets back, this Braintree order will be a huge lift. Pitch is upstairs to Duffy, who grounded back to the mound back in the 2nd inning, as Braintree has struck for 2 so far here in the inning. As Reed in his first major jam of the game. 2-0. So Braintree finally able to strike here in the 4th, and they want more. They scored 2 times so far as Donahue leads at first. 2-0 the count, a good hitter's count for Duffy. the center fielder, as that one misses low, and it is a 3-0. Carnes awaiting a chance on deck, hoping he had a chance as the pickoff play is back safely. And that certainly would not have been a good spot to be picked off here with 2 down, especially with the count in the favor of Duffy. Pitch, as that one is in there for a strike. 3-1 the count with Donahue, who pinch ran after the walk to Files. 3-1, and it's upstairs, ball 4, second walk of the inning. And second consecutive walk, to that matter, as it brings it down to the number 9 spot in the order for Carnes. Carnes laid down a nice bunt back 2 innings ago, and he was retired on the barehanded play, made at third base. He's going to have to come up with a hit here to keep the inning going. Duffy and Donahue leading off their bases at first and second. Braintree has scored twice so far, as the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. So Reed, who really was in control of the strike zone through the first 3 innings, has kind of lost it a little bit here in the 4th. And Braintree trying to take advantage for more than just the 2 runs that they've scored. Trying to make those walks hurt. 1-0, and that one is outside. It's 2-0. Kennedy, the ever dangerous, waiting on deck. Looking to come up with a chance here in the inning, but it's going to have to take something from Carnes, as that one is in there on the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count here to Braintree's second baseman, batting in the number 9 spot in the order. 2 on, 2 down, and Reed back onto the mound. The 2-1 pitch is grounded back towards the shortstop position. It's going to be a long throw. It's not going to be there. He's safe. It gets away, and here comes the run to score in the back door. Braintree scored 3 times here in the inning, and the speed of Carnes able to get him on board. So Braintree has struck for 3, and here comes Kennedy with the chance to put Braintree potentially on top. So that'll go down as an infield single and an error that allowed the run to score from third. And Braintree has shown that they are very resilient this season, and it comes into play once again. We'll see if Carnes is on the move with 2 down. First pitch to Kennedy, it's down in the dirt, and no movement at first base. So the Womps trying to potentially tie it up, if not go ahead here in the inning. Kennedy has very good power, and he fouls that one off. He was ahead of that pitch. And you can hear the approach now from the first base coach, Cam Fox, saying you don't have to kill it. Right now it's just about a solid hit, a base hit, single, double, anything it'll do. If Kennedy gets on base, it'll give a chance for Andrews. 4-3 the score, Braintree trailing by a run. And that one hit out towards short, and it'll be caught. That sounded like maybe a broken bat off the bat of Kennedy. But Braintree does strike for 3 big runs here in the 4th, and now a brand new game after the home run from O'Brien. 4-3 heading to the 5th. Top of the 5th inning in a brand new ball game. 4-3, the Womps trailing Brookline. And another big inning that Braintree has put on display, and that has something that has become an occurrence on a pretty regular basis so far in the early part of the season. They've had 3 runs or more 4 times so far in the season. As this one is hit sharply towards short. Dennehy with the bobble for the moment. The throw across, and that tails him off the bag. As the leadoff runner on with the error at short. So a very costly mistake to begin the inning after Braintree struck for 3 to get within 1. Check on over at first. Second error that the Braintree defense has made here in the game. And Andrews now put in a tough spot with a leadoff runner on, As Vanelli trying to keep him close, a pretty good-sized lead at first, as that one tails inside for a ball. Seven strikeouts through the first 4 innings for Andrews, but he's on the wrong side of the score right now, down 4-3. As that one's down low for a ball. Defense trying to make a nice play out there for the Womps, trying to help out Andrews on the mound, who's behind the count. Certainly not what you wanted to see coming out of a big inning. The first runner's on, and now the second potential runner could be on, as Andrews is down in the count, 3-0. And he missed. First 2 have reached here in the 5th, and we'll see if that gets up some action in the Braintree bullpen. So that's the second walk surrendered now by Andrews. And the first one came back to haunt him after the 2-run single that pushed across the 3rd and 4th run here of the game. And it brings up now the middle of the order for the Warriors. So a chance for Brookline to try and add to their lead. Right now it stands at 1 run. After they had a comfortable 4-run lead that Braintree was able to cut into very quickly. And now trying to get out of a big jam here in the 5th is Andrews. We'll see if Brookline will be sacrificing with 2 on and nobody down, trying to add another run. No sacrifice is evident, as that one is fouled off. A long run for Quigley, and he's going to have no play on it. So this would certainly be a good spot for a strikeout for Andrews, but right now, defensively, Braintree needs to help him out. They've made 2 mistakes in the field so far, and really at this point, he needs a big play from his fielders. As Vanelli and Quigley both in, expecting potentially a bunt. Pretty good pitch, as that one called the ball. 1-1 the count. Again, Andrews trying to get out of a big jam here in the 5th. Both runners with a good-sized lead as he drops in the off-speed pitch for strike 2. Good mix here in the game. Fastball, curveball, and slider. Ahead in the count. Trying for the strikeout. He got him to chase a pitch as that one is hit out towards center. And on the move, it's Duffy able to put it away. So Duffy with a nice ranging play as both him and O'Brien were there. And Duffy able to call him off and put away the first out. That one had a pretty good carry to it. Looked like it was off the end of the bat. But nonetheless, a big first out here of the 5th. It's a little bit surprising not to see a sacrifice in that spot with nobody on, with 2 on and nobody out, as Brookline was trying to potentially put 2 runners in scoring position, but they want to play for the beginning. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see if Braintree's able to get out of it. Kennedy wants to talk with Andrews on the mound, as Andrews called him out. We want to make sure that they're on the same page here with the pick of the selection of the pitch. Trying to get out of this jam. Braintree trying to keep it at a 1-run deficit, as that pitch is there for a strike. So Shimori trying to get something here with 1 out in the 5th. As that one hit weakly, and it hit the batter who was on his way out of the box, but he was still technically in the box. Otherwise, if he had advanced past that box, he would have been out. But he will continue his at-bat as Andrews. And again, Kennedy talking it over. They want to talk the pitch that they want to select here. As Jimbori, who has struck out and walked, trying to retire him for the second time here today. And now we'll see Coach O'Connell coming out, talking to the umpire maybe about that exact situation where the batter had potentially left the box, but I still believe he had 1 foot in the box before the ball hit him. I have to assume that that is the discussion here. Only one can speculate, but it's really the only reasonable thing that I could think of that would be in question right now. Also gets a little bit more time for Andrews to talk it over with Kennedy here. Seven strikeouts so far for Andrews, trying to leave those two runners on. And the pitch is hit out towards right field, and a fair ball. That'll get down, that'll score 1 run, as the runner will be held at third on the base hit with 2 strikes. So that'll make it a 5-3 game, as it looks like we may have a pitching change here on the mound. As now Braintree having a conference out there as the two umpires get together. And now we'll see what the discussion is all about. I don't know if he may have missed first base on the way around. I don't know. I'm just trying to speculate what could have happened there. But there is not going to be a pitching change, just the whole infield coming in, along with head coach O'Connell coming out to talk to his team, as there's 2 more in scoring position and still just the 1 out. So the leadoff error coming back to haunt Andrews on the mound, as the infield comes in, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. It's been a tough day for the fielding here at Braintree. They haven't been able to make as many plays as they generally would make here in a game that would help out their pitcher, and has cost them a couple times so far. And you look on the other side of the spectrum, Brookline has made more than a handful of nice plays, as that one's fouled back and off the screen. So thinking back to those plays, there was an error made back last inning that allowed Braintree to score a runner from third after the missed throw at short. But other than that, there's been 3 fine plays made specifically here in the game by Brookline that have kept base runners off of the bases. Infield in all the way around for Braintree. Everybody on the grass, trying to potentially cut down a runner at the plate. Andrews trying to get the runner or the batter anyway, as that one cued foul of third. So Braintree, who struck for 3 back in the 4th, have surrendered so far 1 here in the 5th. Again, Andrews has pitched very well here in the game, just hasn't gotten the help from his defense, and a couple of nice pieces of hitting that have gone down the right field side of the field. That last one going the opposite way, as he may have went around, and he went around for strike 3. So a big second out here in the inning, and if Andrews gets out of this with just the 1 run, that is certainly a moral victory for Braintree. Still plenty of time left here in the game. 7-inning game, and Braintree's already struck for 3 last inning. Off-speed pitch right there for a strike. Montgomery so far 0 for 2 in the game. He struck out and grounded out to first. The 0-1 pitch, and that one cued towards shortstop. Dennehy on the move. The throw across is in time, and a nice play made by Dennehy to end the inning after an error that led things off and ended up being the run that scored. So an unearned run here charged to Andrews in the 5th, and Braintree trails by 2 after 4.5, 5-3. Bottom of the 5th as Andrews has a chance to lead things off here for the Womps, and that one hit him right off the shoulder, as that one will allow the leadoff runner on here in the 5th. And if there was ever a pitch to get hit by, it was certainly a breaking ball that you want to step into. So let's see if the leadoff runner will be a good sign to come here in the inning, as now Vanelli steps in for his 3rd at bat. He's walked and grounded out to first. Andrews, who has allowed 4 runs here in the game, 5 total, but just 4 earned, trying to get the win, as this one is hammered out there to center, and it will stay there in its tracks to be the first out of the inning. Vanelli absolutely put that one on a line, and that one didn't carry as well as O'Brien's hit. So Vanelli with a loud out here in the 5th certainly put a good swing on that ball, and frustration obviously settled in there for Vanelli, who knows that he had a good pitch to hit. That one skips in. There goes Andrews down to second base, as that one, I believe, hit the plate and skipped over the catcher's head. So now a runner in scoring position for the Womps, who continue to try and claw back. Again, you don't have to get 2 runs here. Just try and get 1. If the second comes across, great. But Braintree knows that they're playing situational right now. They know they can score when they want, which has been something they've done this season. And it's going to take something from the middle of the Braintree order now, with Flannery batting in the cleanup spot, ahead in the count, 1-0. So far, he's 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded to a fielder's choice and grounded out to first. So Flannery has been kept quiet so far here in the game. But all it takes is 1 big hit to atone for all that. 2-0 is on the outside corner for a strike. Quigley looking to get a chance on deck, who got the rally going for Braintree last inning with a long double with 2 down. Andrews at second, and the pitch is hit well towards second and down onto a knee, the low throw, and that's got him for the 2nd out. So it was a productive out for Flannery. He got the runner over to third base with 2 down, and now potentially a single could bring Braintree back within a run. Even a pass ball could get Braintree back within a run. Plenty of things could situate here, as the big breaking ball is in there for a strike. Would have been a good pitch to sit back on. Obviously, you're not expecting a first pitch breaking ball. Quigley had a big hit last inning, and that one in the dirt, and a nice play that kept this game 5-3. We've seen both catchers save a couple runs, or especially Kennedy made at least a couple nice plays behind the plate that kept the runner from scoring. That's the first time that Brookline has had that happen. It's going to take something from Quigley to keep this inning going, as he cues that one foul. So Quigley now down in the count, down 1-2. Andrews, who led things off with a hit batter, 1-2 to Quigley. And he cued that one foul again, and that one hit him off the leg. That's the 2nd time he's fouled one off his leg here in the game. So Quigley taking his time, trying to walk it off. Looking for another big 2-out hit. He had 1 last inning. That one hopped the fence. And then that one was very quickly followed by the home run from O'Brien, who's on deck waiting for a chance. Certainly like to see him get an opportunity here in the inning. He is swinging a very hot bat. So again, Reed stepping back onto the mound. 1-2 the count to Quigley. Braintree with a runner at third and 2 down, as that one stiffens him up. Stepping back from the dish. 2-2 the count to Quigley. And he hits this one out to left and caught on the line as Quigley was robbed of the base hit, and another fine defensive play that keeps a run from scoring, as Brookline has made flashy plays all game long. That one saved another run, and Braintree not able to capitalize on the leadoff runner on with the hit batter, as Quigley is retired here in the 5th, as are the Womps. They leave a runner at 3rd. Heading to the 6th, down 5-3. Top of the 6th inning, 5-3, Braintree trailing here in the game to Brookline. And the first pitch, it's hit towards first base, and Vanelli with the long run, but he'll get there in time for the first out on the first pitch here in the 6th. Third time that Roach has been retired here tonight. And it looks like Brookline has some action out in the pen for potentially here in the bottom half of the 6th, at least some throwing going on. So we'll see if there is a new pitcher coming on in the 6th. Braintree in desperate need of a 0 on the board, as that one's fouled back and off the screen. Braintree trailing right now by 2 runs as Andrews tries to keep it there. He's got the first out so far here in the 6th. On the ground ball to Vanelli. And the off-speed pitch right there, good pitch. Braintree will have O'Brien, Files, and Duffy. 6, 7, and 8 in their order, due up in the bottom half of the inning. 2-2 is the count here as Andrews receives a new baseball. So the Womps trying to look for the thrill of the dramatic, which they've had plenty of so far here in the early part of the season. Got a walk-off victory, also beaten BC High with 7 runs in the 7th, as that one caught the jersey, and that's a hit batter. So both teams have now hit a batter. And that puts one on with 1 down, and again, another pinch runner. Last time that Mello was able to get on base after he was run 4, that was the inning that Brookline scored 4 times. And they're trying to replicate that, but Braintree has other ideas. See if they send the runner here with 1 down, and that one, a good lively fastball right by him. That looked like the hardest pitch that Andrews thrown here tonight. Again, the action still continuing out in the pen for Brookline. As that one's down low for a ball. Andrews trying to get out of the 6th inning. Right now, the Womps trailing by 2 runs. As that one skips in, and Kennedy on the backhand, able to keep that in front of him. Two walks so far here in the game for Andrews. As the runner goes, the pitch is a strike, the throw down to second, and he's going to be out as the tag is there from Carnes. No slide for whatever reason at second. Not sure what the runner was doing. Didn't go for the slide. He may have had a chance to get under the tag. So the pinch runner coming on and is gunned down immediately for the second out here of the inning, as this one is cued towards third and it's foul. So a change in the inning after 1 on 1 down. The runner gunned down. Nobody on, 2 down. And now a pitch away from a scoreless inning for Braintree. This would be a huge victory if Braintree's able to come back, but It's going to take a very good next 2 innings as that one skips in for a ball. Andrews certainly has pitched well enough here today, but hasn't been aided by his defense. A couple of mistakes in the field. As that one is hit out towards right field, and that'll be playable for Flannery. And he puts it away to end the inning, so Braintree ends up putting a 0 after a 1-out hit batter. As we head to the bottom half of the 6th, Braintree still down 2. It's 5-3. Bottom of the 6th inning, Reed still out there. There was action in the pen as O'Brien stands in, and the first pitch is upstairs. So O'Brien, who homered his last time up to get Braintree within 2 at the time. So Reed out there, at least to begin the inning. We'll see if he can get out of it as O'Brien takes another off-speed pitch outside. The Womps hoping to put on at least a runner to bring the tying run to potentially to the plate. O'Brien, Files, and Duffy, the expected trio here for the Womps. 2-0 pitch, and it's outside, 3-0. Right now, Reed trying to be very careful with O'Brien, but you don't want to be too careful. That'll bring the tying run to the plate if you put him on. 3-0, and it catches the outside for a strike. We'll see if O'Brien's taking here on the 3-1 count. (3-1), and it's outside for ball 4. And now it looks like a potential pinch runner coming on for Braintree here at first base. As O'Brien on base. And he will be run. So Valicente will run as Carney will hit. Carney hitting here in the order for Files. As again, Valicente the runner at first. And the first pitch is there for a strike. So one would have to think that Files just isn't healthy enough to bat here in this spot because he's certainly one of Braintree's best power hitters, as that one is a strike. So Carney coming in to pinch hit, and he's down on the count. With Valicente leading at first, the leadoff runner on for Braintree. The first potential out as this one's going to be a tough play as it hangs up in the air for a while, and the first out is made. So now brings up Duffy. His third look here at the starter. Braintree has action in their pen for the 7th. And Duffy swinging at a pitch for a strike. Swung right over the top of that one. Braintree trying to strike for something here in the inning as that one gets away. There goes Valicente down to second. He's going to round the bag as Braintree now has a runner in scoring position. A base hit could potentially put Braintree back within a run. Braintree never goes quietly in any game, and you expect similar things. If they can get something going here, they'll have the middle of the order potentially due up in the 7th, but they want to get something going here in the 6th. And that one's grounded to the left side of the infield as the runner will hold at second. The throw across in time for out number 2. So Duffy not able to advance the runner with 1 out in the inning. And now Valicente, who pitch ran for O'Brien, who led off the inning with a walk. It's going to take something from the number 9 man Carnes, who's been out on a bunt and also reached on a single, as this one is down to first and in time to end the inning. So Braintree not able to score. Here in the 6th, they leave another runner on, and the Womps continue to leave base runners in scoring position here tonight as they trail by 2 heading to the 7th. Top half of the seventh, the Womps down by 2, 5-3, and it's going to take something here from Vanelli, who's coming in relief of Andrews, who went the first 6, allowing 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. It's a pretty solid game, but right now is the pitcher of record. If Braintree doesn't get anything going in their 7th inning, potentially could take the first loss of the season for Braintree. Vanelli fires a strike, and now a second. Leaning out with that pitch, down to first as it hits the bag, and a base hit. As getting the fortunate bounce off of the bag, nothing you can do there. That's just misfortune, and that's been exactly what Brookline has gotten all game long. They've caught in all the breaks here tonight. Very rarely will you see the bag come into play like that. Generally, it's second base on a ball hit right back up the middle. But this time, the base hit we saw a bunt single back a couple innings ago. This one is back to first base side, and it's foul. So right now, the Warriors trying to add a big insurance run here in the 7th. Check on over at first base. As the pitch is upstairs. So Vanelli trying to put up a 0 on the board, trying to keep Braintree's chances as the breaking ball stays upstairs. And we'll see if they take off the potential bunt play. Again, Kerry holding on the runner, trying to keep him close. As that pitch misses away. Braintree has to have a 0 here on the board, trying to make themselves a chance to potentially come back in the 7th. Vanelli needs to fire a strike here. And that one right there. And a full count. Check on over at first base, and he's back safe. We'll see if the runner's on the move. Runner not going, and the 3-2 skips in for ball 4. Single and a walk here in the inning, and very quickly something going. As the whole infield will come in here on the chat. So here tonight, really what has been the difference in the game to this point has been the number of walks and the errors that have proved costly. Obviously, the single that began the inning wasn't an error, but it was a misfortunate bounce against Braintree, and it hit the bag and hopped over the head of Kerry. Obviously, as a first baseman, you're not expecting the ball to make contact and pop up in the air like that, changing the trajectory. There is action still out in the pen for Brookline, so you would assume that they would have a new pitcher coming in the 7th. Braintree having a new pitcher here to be in the 7th. We may have a new pitcher for Brookline to close it out. But right now, Vanelli has to keep it at a 5-3 game. And it's pretty much a given here that the potential bunt will be put on. I guess up by 2 You have a few resources to play with. Braintree expecting a bunt at the corners. And there is no bunt as this one hit well out to right field. Long run for Flannery. He's not going to get there. And that's going to get up against the fence as that'll bring home one. And now a second runner being held at second base. The throw down to second, and he is out at second as the runner gone back behind the bag. So the first out coming here on the throw out to second base. But a big run scored here in the inning. Make it 6-3. There is a runner at third. And still just one out. Off-speed pitch, and that one stays up in the zone. Right now, Vanelli having a tough time getting control of his off-speed pitch. Braintree with the infield in, as that one's fouled off and out of play. Right now, the Warriors coming up with the big hits here in the game. That's the third RBI of the game that was just produced from Lung. And that one's there on the corner for strike two. So Vanelli has to get out of this inning with just the one run. Try and give the Womps an opportunity to find a way to come back. Infield is in. And a ground ball hit towards second base. The play is to the plate. The throw is there, and he's out at the plate. Second runner that Braintree has gunned down here in the inning. Cut down another big runner at the plate. So with the infield in, that's exactly what Carnes was able to do. A nice, accurate throw, and Kennedy, for the second time in 3 games, able to tag a big runner out at the plate. Did something similar against BC High. And also against Norwood early in the season here at home. So now a runner at first and 2 down and a pickoff play. And he's back safely. So Brookline has struck for a big run here in the inning, but some bad base running has cost him at least one more. As the runner goes, the throw down to second won't be in time. Actually, it is in time. That was a close call. And a good dig by Carnes as he made 2 fine plays in the inning. That looked like the runner had potentially gotten there from this angle. But the tag must have been on the helmet on the way by. And Braintree with some good defense shown in that inning to cut down now 3 runners in that one. And the defense helping out Vanelli on the mound. But the Warriors do score a run. And Braintree has to have at least 3 to keep this one going, heading to the bottom half of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning is going to take 3 runs at least here for Braintree to continue the game, and they'll have the top of the order to begin the inning here against the new pitcher, Richardson, trying to close it out with a 3-run lead. The sophomore, and that one is inside. Oh, it's called a strike, a late call. May have been a generous call, as that one is down low for a ball. The Braintree bench trying to get them into the game. Womps trailed by 3. As that one is hit back to the mound. And the throw down for the first out. So a big first out here of the 7th as Kennedy is retired on a hot shot back to the mound. So now Andrews having a chance with nobody on and 1 down, and takes a pitch at the knees for a strike. The pitcher going down to a side angle, making it tough for the arm slot for the batter to pick up, as that one is outside, 1-1. One pitch is there for a strike. Right now, Brookline trying to throw everything they can at the Womps. Trying to change up the angle. As that one is outside for ball 2. Braintree needs a runner on, and they need it quickly. Vanelli waiting for a chance. 2-2, and he struck him out. Two down here in the 7th, as Brookline now an out away from upsetting Braintree here. Braintree potentially in line of picking up the first loss of the season, as that one is hit into the Braintree dugout. Finelli now down on the count 0-1, and Braintree going to have to rally with 2, as that one misses off. That one on the inner half, and down to the final strike are the Womps. Finelli so far here in the game 0 for 2. He's got to take something from him to continue, as he's able to spoil that one off. Flannery hoping to get a chance, but Finelli has to get on base in order for that to happen. 1-2, and again, back off in that same direction, off and out of play. Finelli able to spoil off another third time. He's been able to foul it off. A lot of strikes being thrown since coming out for Richardson. And the pitch is hammered out there to the middle, and this game will continue, as that one on a rope into center field from Finelli. And here comes a pinch runner. So Sylvia running on now at first. The runner right now not of importance for Richardson, so you'd like to, at least if you could, take the free bag and try and take the force out of the possibility. And it's going to take something from Flannery to keep the game going. And he's going to hit this one out to left field. That's going to be trouble. It's down at a base hit. There is Sylvia. He's rounding third base. And here he comes as Braintree scored a base runner here in the inning. So Sylvia scoring on the base hit from Flannery. And now the tying run coming to the plate here in the 7th. Two very quick outs by Richardson, and since then, 2 absolute smashes by the Braintree hitters. So Flannery coming up with his first hit of the game, and obviously the most important to this point, giving a chance for Quigley. So 6-4 is the score. Braintree struck for 1 so far here in the 7th, making it very interesting, bringing the tying run now to the plate. Quigley trying to keep it going. And the first pitch is there for a strike. Quigley 1 for 3 in the game. He's doubled, struck out, and lined out. O'Brien hoping to get a chance in the game, as that one is down in the dirt. And as a base runner, obviously, if you're not sure you're going to have the free bag, you're not going to try it. You don't want to get gunned down to end the game. O'Brien would certainly be the man you would like to get up there if you can get a chance. Quigley trying to keep the inning going. And the pitch is out on the outside corner for strike 2. Womps down to potentially the final out again. Flannery leading at second base. 1-2 the count, and it's away for ball 2. Quigley's probably going to have to take it the other way because everything he's seen has gone the other way. 2-2 the count to the third baseman for Quigley as he fouls this one off and spoils off another good pitch. Braintree has battled hard here in the 7th. Scored once so far. They have a runner at second. There's 2 down. All this going with 2. Bench really into it as Richardson steps off. Quigley also stepping out. O'Brien is the man on deck, hoping he'll get a chance. 2-2 the count. And the pitch is hammered out to right field. That's going to be tough. And he's got the ball under his tracks to put it away. And a loud final out here to end the game as Quigley put a charge into it to end it here as Quigley retired to end the ball game as Braintree leaves the runner at second base and drops the first game of the season by the score of 6-4, dropping to 7-1 here on the season. A very tough one to swallow here for Braintree, having a chance back in the first, not scoring with 2 runners on, and then 4 runs pushed across in the 3rd inning for the Warriors after Andrews was on cruise control, and Braintree picked up their first loss of the season. So Braintree falls to 7-1 here with the loss, and Brookline improves to 6-2 as the Warriors get probably their most important win of the season, knocking off at the time now #1 Braintree here today. So the Womps getting the offensive production from O'Brien, a 2-run homer, the loudest hit of the game for the Womps, but a 4-run inning back in the 3rd is the difference here today for Brookline. So the Womps lose here today 6-4, the final score here at Braintree High School, dropping their first game of the season. For Christine Patterson, I'm Mike Wassel. We'll see you next time.